Welcome back to JForrest English. I'm Jennifer, and today we're going to read a news article together so you can learn advanced English in context to help you get to that fluent level where you can truly consider yourself a fluent English speaker. Let's get started.
First, I'll read the headline. Meta surges as ads bounce back. There are two things I want to teach you in this short headline. First, let's talk about surges. This is a verb. It's conjugated in the present simple with Meta. Meta is the company that Mark Zuckerberg owns, the company that owns Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, among others. Now, as a company, it would be conjugated as a subject as it, and that's why you see this S on the verb in the present simple. It surges. Meta surges as ads bounce back. Now, the verb to surge, what does this mean? To surge. This is a sudden and great increase. So when it says Meta surges, it's talking about its profitability, the money that the company earns. So Meta surges, there's a sudden and great increase. So sudden, it happened in a short period of time, and then obviously great in the quantity. Meta surges as ads. Ads, this is the short form for the word advertisements. Native speakers almost always use the short form ads, which stands for advertisements. Bounce back. This is a very useful phrasal verb. To bounce back, this means to start to be successful again after a difficult period. Now, we use this in different contexts. In this case, it's used in a business context. So you can imagine that Meta was successful, but then there was a difficult period. So for a business, that's when their profits, the money they earn, falls. So their profit was here, then it fell to some lower point, but then the company bounced back, which means their profit increased to the same level or greater. Bounce back. So we use it with businesses. We also use this with health. So if someone is sick, we can say, oh, I hope you bounce back soon, which means recover soon. So you can use it in this business context, or you can also use it in a health context. Don't worry about writing this down because I've created a free lesson PDF that summarizes everything you're learning right now. So you can look in the description for the link to download the free lesson PDF. Let's continue. As I predicted before earnings came out, a prediction is when you make a guess or a statement about a future situation based on the facts you know now. So this person is making a prediction, a guess about the future, about Meta's earnings. Earnings means financial, the money that the company earns. You can refer to that as earnings, my earnings. So this right here is a noun. This is a noun. Now, of course, we have earn as a verb. So Meta earned a lot of money, to use a very simple sentence. So you could say Meta's earnings, to use the noun form. Meta's earnings were very high, or Meta's earnings surged, to use the verb that you now know. As I predicted before earnings came out, Meta not only had its second straight quarter of positive revenue growth, but it also exceeded expectations. Okay, before we continue, let's talk about this word here, quarter, because as you can see, we have it here, quarter, Q4, Q2. So you'll see this a lot in this article, and any business related, financial related article or news story, you will see this. So the calendar year is 12 years. So you can divide that into quarters, and you will have 4 quarters. In each quarter, there are 3 months. So we have Q1, which is quarter one, or the first quarter. And this is January, February, March. Now, I won't repeat this, but this repeats for Q2, Q3, Q4, and it's just a period of 3 months. So that is how a business divides the calendar year to measure their performance and analyze their earnings. And Q1, this is the short form. It represents quarter one. Now notice here, when you say the longer form, first quarter, you have to use the article the first quarter, because first is an ordinal number, and we always use articles with ordinal numbers. So I'll make a star here. Don't forget the. This is required grammatically. So now let's go back. Meta not only had its second straight quarter of positive revenue growth. So what does this mean? It's second straight quarter. When you have straight, when you're talking about quantity, it means continuous. So I could say, I have worked for 10 days straight. I have worked for 10 days straight means that I've worked for 8 days continuously. So I have not taken a break in 10 days. So you can say, I've worked for 10 days straight. And again, here, straight, this means continuous. You can also put the word straight. I've worked for 10 straight days. And it means exactly the same thing. There's just a little bit of flexibility in placement. And again, that means 10 days in a row, which means continuous, 10 continuous days. So second quarter straight. So that means Q1 and Q2, or Q2 and Q3, or Q3 and Q4 of positive revenue growth. So the revenue is the money that they earn, and revenue is the money that they earn before they pay expenses. Okay, so revenue is the money that comes in, but before they pay expenses. But it also exceeded expectations. So an expectation, this is a prediction of how well you think you'll do. So maybe Meta expected to earn $100 million because it's a massive company. $100 million. That was their expectation. But if they exceeded it, it means they earned more than they expected. So they earned 110 or $200 million. But it also exceeded expectations with its first quarter of double-digit growth since Q4 2021. This is saying in Q4 2021, which remember is the last 3 months of the year, so October, November, December, that's Q4, October, November, December. In Q4 2021, it had double-digit growth. So single-digit growth would be 1 to 9% growth is single-digit growth because there's only one digit. So what is double-digit growth? I'm sure this is pretty easy for you. 10 to 99% is double-digit growth. It's obviously possible to have triple digit growth or quadruple digit growth. Possible. It would be great, I'm sure, if you're a business. So this is double digit growth. So it's saying in Q4 2021, it had double digit growth. And now it has also had double digit growth. But the period between these two times, it didn't have double digit growth. Let's continue. Here's my quick take on Meta's Q2. So let's take a look at this. Someone's take on something. This is a very useful expression. The expression is one's take on something. And this means one's opinion about a situation or idea. So your take is your opinion or your idea. So for example, it's very common to ask someone, what's your take on that? You might share an idea. Oh, we should go on vacation to Germany this year. What's your take on that? You're asking them, well, what do you think about the idea I just shared with you? What's your opinion? What's your take on, and then that being whatever I just said. Of course, you can actually provide what you just said instead of saying that. For example, what's your take on the Threads versus Twitter debate? Because this article is about Meta, Meta just created this new social media platform called Threads, which is a direct competitor to Twitter. So I'm asking you, what's your opinion on Facebook, Meta, now competing against Twitter? What's your take on that? What's your take on Threads versus Twitter? So feel free, if you have a take on that, feel free to share your take in the comments below. Okay, let's continue. With 2 straight quarters of positive revenue growth and the first quarter of double-digit revenue growth since late 2021, this is very repetitive of what we just learned, so you can review the explanation. I won't explain it again. Meta's year of efficiency is off to a strong start. This is a great expression as well, but notice when you're learning new expressions, you have to learn the entire grammatical structure. So here the expression is to be, our verb to be. Of course, our verb to be needs to be conjugated. In this case, the verb to be is being conjugated with Meta's year of efficiency, which as a subject, what subject would that be? Well, it's it. And I know it's it because my verb is to be as is, and that's the conjugation with it. It is off to a strong start. So here the expression is to be off to a X start. And then in this expression, X equals an adjective. It can be a positive or a negative adjective. And this just describes the performance of the beginning of something. So let's say you're in a new class. You're learning how to play guitar. You might say, I'm off to a great start. Great start. I already know 3 songs. So you're describing the performance of the beginning. And in this case, it's the beginning of learning guitar. It can be the beginning of anything. Our vacation is off to a rough start. A rough start would be negative. Our vacation is off to a rough start because our flight was delayed for 5 hours and then they lost our bags. So that's the start of your vacation and it's not going very well. So you can say off to a rough start. Let me write this for you. Here it is. Our vacation is off to a rough start. And then you can explain why. Our flight was delayed. They lost our bags. Our hotel was terrible. You can explain all the reasons why. Hopefully, that is not the real situation. Obviously, you want to be off to a great start, amazing start, wonderful start. Remember, you can choose any adjective you want to replace X. So Meta's year of efficiency is off to a strong start. If the company can continue this momentum into the next 2 quarters, that being Q2 and Q3 or Q3 and Q4, it will exit 2023 in a much better position than it entered the year. And that's how it's bouncing back. Remember, it was here, but then it went down, but now it's back. It bounced back. Let's continue. There's a lot of feel good about when it comes to Meta right now. There's a lot to feel good about. I was thinking that doesn't sound right. There's a lot to feel good about when it comes to Meta right now. So if you feel good about something, it means that there's positive feelings. And obviously, because they are doing very well, because they're off to a strong start. There's a lot to feel good about when it comes to Meta right now. It has been able to maintain decent growth. Decent, this is an adjective that means good, but not amazing. So if I say the food is decent at a restaurant, you know it's good, but it's not amazing. So if you ask me, oh, how was the movie? How was the food? How was the hotel? And I say, decent, good, but not necessarily great. Good, but not great. Decent. Good, but not great. To maintain decent growth in monthly and daily active users across both Facebook and its family of apps. And it has seen strong performance from Advantage, its AI-driven suite of ad automation tools. Remember, ad is short for advertisement. Native speakers almost always shorten this word, advertisement. Automation tools, as well as good momentum for advertiser demand on Reels. While its competitor Snap, I've never heard of Snap. Have you heard of Snap? I haven't. If you have, share in the comments. Clearly a competitor to Meta. While its competitor Snap has yet to emerge from its own advertising slump. Notice I said ad is short for advertisement. But here we have advertiser, who is the person advertising. And then advertising is the verb. But for advertisement, this is the one we shorten. Emerge from its own advertising slump. A slump, this is when there's a decline. So slump, visualize going down. And it goes down in terms of price, sales, or volume. In this case, it's advertising slump. It's most likely the volume, the number of people who want to advertise on this platform, on Snap. Meta has been able to successfully turn around its business. This is a great phrasal verb as well. When you turn something around, it means you take a situation from negative to positive. I wrote that definition here. Now, this could be a great one to combine with the expression off to a adjective start, especially when it's negative, because this expression is when you take something from negative to positive. So remember the example I gave was our vacation was off to a rough start. And remember, you have your verb to be that you have to conjugate. In this case, it's conjugated with the subject, our vacation, it, and the time reference is the past. So this is the past simple. Our vacation was off to a rough start. not good. So a negative situation, but we turned it around. So we took our vacation from negative to positive. And of course, you can provide more information on why it was negative and how you turned it around. So how you got it from negative to positive. So excellent expression that you can combine with the other one you learned. Let's continue. Meta still faces several challenges. However, it gets nearly all of its revenue from advertising, and we estimate that its share of the worldwide digital advertisement market, will fall to 20.1% this year from its 2021 peak of 22.7%. Okay, its peak of 22.7, when you describe something as its peak, we'll just think of a mountain, and the top of a mountain is the peak, right? And the top of the mountain is the highest point. So when you say the prices peaked at X number, then that means that's the highest the prices are expected to go. And then after that, they might fall. So here, the market will fall to 20.1. So at this time in 2021, the market was at 22.7. By saying it's the peak, is saying this was the highest point and they don't expect it to go higher. This was the peak. So from this, you have no place to go but down because you're at the top of the mountain. So just visualize the top of the mountain when you think of peak. So the highest. It's facing significant competition from TikTok and Amazon. And while Meta may be talking less about the metaverse these days, it is still determined to make the metaverse a reality. And the massive losses in its Reality Labs division, so I guess this is the name of the group within the company that works on the metaverse. The Reality Labs division, they work on metaverse, are adding up. So the losses, the obviously financial losses, they're adding up. So adding up, this is a phrasal verb that means accumulating. So you had this loss here, this loss, this loss, this loss. And then if you add them up, you have a total amount that is obviously a lot bigger than the individual amounts. The company also faces incredibly tough competition in generative AI. I'm not too sure what generative AI is. I'm sure there are students watching this who do know. A lot of probably people in the software development engineer world. So feel free, let me know what generative AI is. Artificial intelligence, that's AI, but I don't know what generative AI is, including from OpenAI and Google. 4. These things will weigh on Meta in the second half of the year. So remember, the first half of the year would be Q1, Q2, and the second half of the year would be Q3, Q4. Let's take a look on weigh on. When something, these things, the article previously mentioned, when something weighs on someone, Meta is a company, so someone or something, a company, it simply means that whatever those things are making you worried or unhappy. So to weigh, just imagine something physically is weighing on you. It's bringing you down in terms of your emotions. For example, my upcoming IELTS exam is weighing on me, is another way of saying is making me worried, making me unhappy because you have a lot of nervousness around that exam. Hopefully not, just an example, but that is something you could say. And I know a lot of students have told me that. These things will weigh on Meta in the second half of the year. And remember that second half is Q3 and Q4 combined. But thanks to the momentum of a better than expected Q2, it will be in a stronger position to face those challenges. So the company expects to have challenges in Q3 and Q4 because of this competition from other companies and how the losses of the metaverse are now adding up. But because it had such a great Q2, it was off to a strong start, it won't be as severe. The consequences of these losses and the competition won't be as severe. So that's why it's in a better, stronger position to face those challenges. And that's the end of our article. So what I'll do now is I'll go to the top and I'll read the article from start to finish. And this time you can focus on my pronunciation. Meta surges as ads bounce back. As I predicted before earnings came out, Meta not only had its second straight quarter of positive revenue growth, but it also exceeded expectations with its first quarter of double-digit growth since Q4 2021. Here's my quick take on Meta's Q2. 1. With 2 straight quarters of positive revenue growth and the first quarter of double-digit revenue growth since late 2021, Meta's year of efficiency is off to a strong start. If the company can continue this momentum into the next 2 quarters, it will exit 2023 in a much better position than it entered the year. 2. There's a lot of feel good about when it comes to Meta right now. It has been able to maintain decent growth in monthly and daily active users across both Facebook and its family of apps, and it has seen strong performance from Advantage, its AI-driven suite of ad automation tools, as well as good momentum for advertiser demand on Reels. While its competitor, Snap, has yet to emerge from its own advertising slump, Meta has been able to successfully turn around its business. 3. Meta still faces several challenges, however. It gets nearly all of its revenue from advertising, and we estimate that its share of the worldwide digital ad market will fall to 20.1% this year from its 2021 peak of 22.7%. It's facing significant competition from TikTok and Amazon. And while Meta may be talking less about the metaverse these days, it is still determined to make the metaverse a reality. And the massive losses in its Reality Labs division are adding up. The company also faces incredibly tough competition in generative AI, including from OpenAI and Google. 4. These things will weigh on Meta in the second half of the year. But thanks to the momentum of a better than expected Q2, it will be in a stronger position to face those challenges.
If you like this lesson, then make sure you subscribe because I post lessons like this every single week. And you can get this free speaking guide where I share 6 tips on how to speak English fluently and confidently. You can click here to download it or look for the link in the description. And why don't you get started with your next lesson right now?